I've seen a lot of talks about Stalker Anthology recently, so of course I had to look a little bit deeper into it, and I have to say it's actually a very interesting and pretty cool project. It's always exciting when the modding community comes up with new and innovative mods. I mean, these type of things are the exact reason the Stalker game series are still alive and well after all these years. And I guess it makes the wait for Stalker 2 a little bit easier by giving us new things to try in the meantime. So anyways, let me try to explain what Anthology is exactly and why I find it really exciting and full of potential. I'm not gonna redo a Stalker modding history video here, it's gonna be broad strokes to give you a rough idea, so don't nitpick too much on all the little details. So you know how Anomaly is roughly merging the 3 base Stalker games into one big open world that you can explore freely, and there's a basic questline slapped on top of it? But in spirit, Anomaly is a big sandbox where you create your own adventure, pretty much. Well, Anthology brings into Anomaly a ton of story-driven mods. Mods like Spatial Anomaly, Valley of Whispers, Pass in the Mist, all mods that became popular because they have amazing stories and really interesting questlines. And Anthology brings them into Anomaly with all the new content they include, so a lot of new maps, new areas to explore, new mutants, new NPCs, basically making it an even bigger open world that you can still explore freely and play as a sandbox, but with a ton of new things to do and, well, really good storylines that you can engage with. There's even the questlines of the 3 base games that you can do. I mean, technically on top of everything else, it's even a way to play the base game storylines in a modernized Anomaly-style open world if you want to. And it's the new English translation that makes all of this more accessible today. It's not a perfect translation, but it's good enough to understand everything. And honestly, I'm one of these people that consider the broken English part of the Stalker lore, so I can't really complain about it. It might look like a soup mod from the outside, so something like the Reborn series, OP2, Narodnaya Solyanka, and so on, but I think soup mods are more defined by a true quantity over quality mindset with a ridiculous amount of unbalanced, hard as hell and confusing content. That makes them actually really fun and crazy and completely broken at the same time, but I don't think that's the goal here with Anthology. I think it could really be seen as a new base to build upon, a sort of extended Anomaly with really good and interesting storylines, exactly what Anomaly is missing in a way, and all of this in a much bigger and varied open world. Honestly, it has the potential to be one of the most interesting things built on top of Anomaly so far. It comes packed with a lot of add-ons already, because technically yes, it's Anomaly, so you can build and add all the stuff you want on top of it, the same way Gamma or EFP did with Vanilla Anomaly. So there's new animations, skill system, weapon packs, and a ton of other stuff from the get-go. I don't think it's a smart thing to try to add your own add-ons now, though, especially if you're not too experienced with modding, as Anthology is still early in development, with a lot of bugs and issues and very much still a work in progress. And it adds so much new things, I don't want to imagine all the conflicts you're gonna run into trying to add more add-ons on top of it, but technically in the future that could be a possibility. Or even having a full port of Gamma into it. I know it was being worked on, but delayed right now, waiting for a more stable version, or whatever else you could wish for. With all of that being said, it's perfectly playable right now in its current version, and it's pretty fun, especially if you don't know anything about the new mods, their storylines, and new areas they bring. Some of these areas are absolutely huge, some feel a bit empty, it's far from perfect, don't get me wrong, there's some bugs and crashes here and there, it's hard as hell too, but having a ton of new questlines and exploring brand new areas, well, I've been having a blast so far, and it definitely has the old school Stalker feel without all the clunkiness, so a little bit broken and buggy, but very enjoyable, like any other good Stalker mod, I guess. Okay, now let's do a quick installation guide if you want to try it. As usual, all the links will be in the description to get everything you need. So you should have 5 files after downloading everything: Stalker Anomaly, the latest Anomaly patch, Anthology, the latest Anthology patch, and the English translation. So first you're gonna extract everything in their respective folders using 7-zip. Okay, done. Let me quickly remove all of this because we don't need it anymore. The anomaly folder is your main game folder. You're gonna cut and paste the anomaly patch inside it, replace all the files if you're asked. Then we're gonna copy the content of the anthology folder in our anomaly folder. Then we're gonna open JSG.me and activate anthology. When it's done, you're gonna copy the content of the anthology patch and the English translation, again in your main anomaly folder. Here you can go back to the mod organizer to activate the other mods that the patch added, and you can start your game pretty much. That's pretty much it. Can't make it easier than that. By the way, you can use MO2 if you want to. If it's a mod organizer you like better, just create a new instance for Anthology and you can add the mods like any other. Oh yeah, the game is still in Russian on startup, so you just have to go here and switch here to English. One last important thing before you start playing. Yes, this mod is built on top of Anomaly, but you're not supposed to play the vanilla Anomaly story. It's not gonna work and you will get stuck. Uncheck Story Mode, and it's actually in the spawn location that you can choose which story you want to play. Do not miss this. This is one of the main things of Anthology, to play the great stories of other games or mods in the Anomaly world. Well, an expanded Anomaly world with all the extra content these mods bring with them. And as you can see, you will get started in whatever mod story you picked. Unfortunately, you cannot play all of these mods at the same time in the same game, because a lot of them will contradict themselves, and I guess it's too complicated to do that, so you're gonna have to pick what you want to play, but you still have access to the whole new open world anyway to explore. And that's pretty much it. Try it, have fun, let me know what you think, and I will keep you updated on how this project evolves, because as I said, it's very, very interesting and I think it has a ton of potential.